Welcome back. Today we're flying out the French Yak-3 and I'm not gonna waste too much time. Today I'm gonna have 3 little dogfights. We're gonna have a 1v1 versus that Yak-9U that's over there. Next clip we'll have a 2v1 versus 2 ITPs. Then we'll have a 1v1 with a Yak-3 on my 6, and then at the end we'll have a little ace. Quick game, just some general pointers on this plane, because in general this is one of my favorite planes to fly in the French 3, and that's simply because this thing actually has performance. Ironically enough, it's premium and not even French. So starting off, Yak-9U, he has a little bit more power than me, but he is heavier, so he should turn a bit worse. However, this guy has been running 14 minutes of fuel, making him lighter with more power, so I have to be very careful here. First things first, I want to try to get behind him. So we start his rolling scissors, and if you pay very close attention to my nose, you can see that I'm trying to aim it behind his plane. So imagine there is a line going through his plane from the nose to the tail. And then imagine that there's also a line going through my plane, and I'm trying to point my nose behind his tail. Kinda hard to explain without showing it with a drawing, but I'm not the best duelist and I don't really know if I should give the most amount of pointers on them. But I'm very slowly getting some ground here. And now we're slowing down even more, so I'm going to start dropping these flaps here and there. Trying to slow down even more, trying to have some quick bits of turn. Don't overuse these flaps, they will kill your sustained turn rate. But if you're trying to get on someone's 6, if you're trying to get some positioning, then using them sparingly is a very good idea. And now you can see that I gradually work myself on his 6. Now we're both almost stalling out, going very slow here. So I'm starting to use these flaps for the last few times to just secure the position. Because once I get on his 6, I should be completely fine. Because the Yak-3 is still a very maneuverable plane, even though he has less fuel. So at this point it's just a matter of securing the position and trying to get a shot in. He's going down, so I want to use these flaps a little bit because I'm trading altitude for speed anyway. So using the flaps a little bit to turn just that extra bit tighter isn't a bad idea. Cutting my throttle here, and at this point I'm just so closely on the 6. He's basically, well, it's like a few degrees above him, but I should pull lead gradually here. He can't really run away, he's too close to me, so I'm not really worried about dropping my throttle here and there. I set him on fire. He's going to burn up. Shavak's doing absolutely nothing. Berezin probably set him on fire. He's going to burn up from that. And that's going to be game. GG was a fun one. And now I have 2 ITPs on my 6. We're at a decent altitude here. We're at almost 5 kilometers. And this is why you should always climb, even though you have a low altitude based plane. Having some altitude is always nice to work with. Right now I'm going about 300 IAS. And they're not catching on me. They're below me. So I have a lot more energy than them. And because we're both going so slow, I know that they won't have the energy to pull up right here. So I just kind of turn over them, drop the flaps, go down again to pick up a little bit of speed to turn that little bit extra tight. Look who's stalled out, look who's closer, go for the closest one first, set him on fire. And then we pull up again and shoot down the second one. You just get a few hits, but it's a water leak. And ITP in this kind of scenario isn't going to be doing a lot, simply because I just simply maneuver that much better. I'm starting to get on the 6 here. He can't really do anything, and except for maybe try to dive away. Because of course this thing dives very poorly, as you will rip before you even hit 700. A few games later I have a Yak-3 on my 6. He has been chasing me for a very good while here. He was chasing me directly next to his squad mate for a while, and I just kind of flew away until his squad mate broke off, and he did. Now we're pushing a red line. I'm going 660, indicating that the very worst case scenario we are going roughly the same speed, because if he's going any faster he will rip his wings off. So we do the same thing as I did to the Yak-9U at the start. We go vertical and I'm trying to aim my plane kind of behind him. He messed up the first turn. I get directly on his 6 and he is essentially dead. I mostly wanted to show you this. If you face an identical plane, if you merge on your red line, worst case scenario, you two guys will have the same amount of speed, same amount of energy, which is a good thing. Because if you're in the same plane and the enemy has more energy than you, it's very tough to get out of, unless he makes a pretty executive mistake. You have the full game as a little ace, and again, climb in these planes. It doesn't matter how good they are at low altitude. Diving on someone is always better than being dived on. I'm trying to look around, just trying to see who I can pick off here, because I do want to go down as quickly as I can, because hanging out up here isn't very good for this engine. It's simply not very powerful up here. Luckily you get a pretty boosted climb rate, so you should be above a lot of people. And right now I'm just trying to see who I can engage. There's a 109 in the background. That's a Yak-9 that's about to pitch up for me. I'm going about 320. He doesn't have the altitude on me. So I can just kind of pull up over him, go horizontal. By going horizontal, it makes it so that I turn around just a little bit faster, and then I see this guy. I don't want to turn around for the Yak-9 and then get this guy on my 6, so I just kind of extended away from that dogfight that I probably would have won, but in the end it wasn't unnecessary as this guy was not really paying attention. Shoot a few rounds, set him on fire, tap again, only using the presence here, and we blow his wing off. And the Yak-9 in the meantime dove away. Now, I wish I had shown you what would happen if I had dogfought the Yak-9, but you know, you don't know what the enemy is going to do, and I don't want to give the I-185 a very clean position on my 6. Even though he only has 3 Shvaks, only 1 is needed to kill your engine or your pilot. And right now we're going to look at the main handicap of this plane, which is the rip speed. A lot of times you will find that a lot of people are pretty low and you can't really dive on them, and it will take you a very long time to get down there because this thing picks up a lot of speed in the dive. It doesn't really lose that speed after it gets it, and you rip at around like 680, 690, making it very annoying when everyone's on the deck and you climb to about 5 to 6 kilometers, which is something that I do almost every game. Right now I'm just cooling my engine, I'm just diving in, I'm trying to spiral down very gradually, and I'm gonna lose a lot of time here, and sometimes, a lot of times, either your team is going to be cleaning up everyone and you come down and by the time you get the first shot on someone there are no enemies left, or you dive on them and it's like 1v8. The 1v8 thing I enjoy. Look, unfortunately we didn't actually experience any of those because, well, I was flying in the squad this time and we kind of just cleaned everyone up. I dove in, ITP going vertical, and so is the 109. And on low energy these guys aren't going to be doing a lot. 104 is running gun pods for whatever reason. I don't recommend you to take those, but the 109 F4 is actually pretty equal in this thing in terms of a 1v1. As long as you're on the deck, the higher you go, the bigger the advantage becomes for the 109. Right now I'm just flying directly over these guys. There's not really much of a threat going on here. Yak-9 is trying to pitch up. He doesn't have anyone near the energy to do that. So I turn in, see that the 190 is also going vertical. Not sure what he's shooting at, probably a bot or something. So I kill him. I still have way more energy than the Yak-9, so we just simply pull up over him. Try to stay on his off angle so he has to pull even more, trying to get the shot in on me. And then we pull back up. He doesn't have anyone near the energy here. And we just simply drop back down. And beautiful here, he is very slow. He's not going to be doing anything. And now the entire team comes in as well. But before they get the kill in, I want to make sure that I secure this one. Set him on fire, get a crit on him. Mosquito, I'm not sure what he tried to do there, but he didn't try to steal it, I think. So, much appreciated. And that's gonna be game, and that's gonna be the video. Pretty short one today, but I didn't have much time this week. And you should see another video relatively soon here. Hope you enjoyed it, and see you all in the next one.